Stephen Parker. He is the British Chamber of Commerce in Taipei's CEO and the chair of the Women in Business program, Revital Spangenthal. So the British Chamber of Commerce in Taipei, it's an organization that supports business in Taiwan across several areas, commercial interests of its members, promoting Taiwan as a place to do business, supporting new business coming into Taiwan, government engagement, supporting the development of what we're here to chat about today, responsible business, all kinds of stuff. And because conference calls don't really sound great on air, so they're going to be passing the phone back and forth. So if there's some awkward pauses in that, that's my fault, okay? So I want to say good morning to Steve. Good morning, Steve.
Hey, good morning, Steve. How are you? That was the best introduction I've ever heard about me. Thank you.
Actually, I was just reading what you wrote. He sent me all over the information this morning, and or I got it this morning, and I was looking at this. I was like, wow, that's pretty good. I don't really need to add a lot to that. So, yeah, you did a good job. Nice writing.
Thank you.
Now, Steve, both you and Revital are longtime foreign residents of Taiwan. You've been a CEO of the British Chamber of Commerce for 5 years. Revital runs her own business, Anemone Ventures, which supports new tech businesses coming into Taiwan. I have spoken to her before, spoken with her here on air. And now I understand we're going to be chatting with her in a moment about the women's mentoring program that they have and why this is important to Taiwan. So, International Women's Day was just the other day, March 8th. And so we're going to talk to Stephen Revital about a program that they run at the British Chamber of Commerce for women in business, and in particular, their women's mentoring program. So let me ask you, Steve, first. How long has this Women in Business program been running at the Chamber? How did this all get started?
So this goes back about 10 years, actually. And one of our first guests was the current president, Tsai Ing-wen. It was, and it grew out of so there's a community services center that I know you people talk to, I think probably every month.
Almost every week, right now.
Almost every week, wow.
Yeah.
So I people sometimes forget, but I used to run the community services center way back when. And we had a program called Overseas Trailing Talent, which was started by a lady called Amanda Metty. And then Amanda Metty took over the British Chamber of Commerce about 10 years back, and we took the program, which was then called Overseas Trailing Talent, and we morphed it into a Women in Business program, which has been going strong now for, as I said, over 10 years.
Nice. Now, of course, there is a necessity for programs like this. So can you tell us, why is a program like this necessary? The way I ask that sounds like I don't think it's I think they are necessary. So, okay, tell us more about the Women in Business program. That sounds better.
So I think it's one of these things where we all wish it wasn't necessary.
Right.
But if you look at things, there are just certain things that you can't deny. Globally, there is still a massive pay and position gap between men and women around the world. It's some of the things where they say that if it would, in 1 year, basically, women are working for free for 2 months. That's kind of the sort of, back of a envelope kind of calculation of the difference in salaries between equivalent positions around the world.
Right.
Now, we have a look at Taiwan. Taiwan has some fantastic statistics. We have some, I think we're the highest, in fact, I know this, we're the highest, the most equal in terms of gender equality of any of the Asian locations. And we're pretty high in the world, too. We're about number 8 or 9. So, Taiwan does a pretty good job in terms of the statistics for gender equality.
Right.
We have more businesses are owned by women here than the other countries in Asia. So we're doing a pretty good job. And the labor force is, I think it's about 40 to 45% of the labor force here is women. So, in some ways, it looks pretty good.
I was reading something the other day. Sheree was talking about this in the morning. Actually, Taiwan also has, I believe, if I remember correctly, if it's not the highest, then it's one of the highest percentages of women in politics in Taiwan. I think Taiwan is like number 1, or it's in the the top in Asia for women who are like in the legislature. And
Absolutely, and it's been growing. There have been more and more women going into the legislature every year in Taiwan, and every time we have an election, and having a woman president helps as well. It gives people a positive role model, and that's partly why we're building this Women in Business program, is to create these role models. But the thing about Taiwan is that there's this kind of a hidden kind of cultural inequality. So what happens in Taiwan is that the issues, if you look at on paper, it looks like everything's reasonably good shape in terms of equality.
Right.
But the pay position gap still exists. But also in Taiwan, because of the culture that we've built up here over the years, there are things like expectations that are placed on women.
Right.
So even if they are, working an equal job to the men, etc., there are still those home, family, and other pressures that are placed on women. So, if they have children, then they're expected to look after those children. If there are aging parents, they're also expected to look after those parents. And there are all these other pressures about the kind of home and family and background that are added on top of the expectation of working as well. So it's a slightly different position and issue in Taiwan. And so we thought that we really wanted to develop this Women in Business program to allow the women in Taiwan, and especially for us, because we're an international chamber, the women in international companies, to have a forum where they could express and talk about and come up with strategies to solve the issues that they face on a daily basis.
So support and problem solving as well. And I just want to mention to our listeners who, just so if you didn't get that, when we said we hoped that this kind of program was not necessary, meaning that we hoped everything was already equal and that we didn't need special programs to make things equal. That's what we meant by that. Don't send me emails.
Absolutely.
Now,
we're here to help. We're doing this because we want to change what's going on.
Now, could I ask Revital a question really quick?
Let me just pop. I'll put you across to Revital now.
Okay.
Good morning, Stevie. How are you?
Good morning. Nice to talk to you again.
It's good to talk to you.
Now, Revital, you are the chair of the Women in Business Group, and you're also the head of the mentoring program that's set up by the Chamber.
Correct.
Tell us about that. I mean, how you set it up, why it was done.
Okay, so echoing some of Stephen's words, I just want to share that despite being 50% of the workforce, women earn 80% of what men do, and women continue to be underrepresented in senior leadership roles and in corporate boards. Secondly, while Taiwan ranks highest in Asia for gender equality and ninth in the world, which is pretty impressive, there's still gender pay gap, discrimination in job interviews, and low participation in tech sector, which is the highest paying sector in Taiwan.
Right.
So from the survey that we conducted, women indicated that a mentor was a trigger for them for a change. We launched a program in 2019 with only 15 pairs, which we thought was quite a lot. And this year, we more than doubled the number of pairs. We had overwhelming interest in joining as mentees. So we see this program is really necessary. Another thing is that we recognize the gap of existing women mentors in local organizations, and we offered our members the ability to connect with outstanding women leaders in other organizations. So we really want to give the stage to our mentees, whether they wish to develop their career, start a company, or find their work-life balance. We really try to identify the gap that they have now and help them find a path to close it.
I think this is not that my opinion is being asked at this moment, but I really like that you're having this program.
Thank you.
My mother had 6 kids, and my dad worked hard, but my mom worked and she had 6 kids, and she sewed. And, she made us clothes when we were little and poor. She kept house. She raised us. Dad did a lot of work. I, want to give Dad his props, but my mom was amazing. And it would have been really nice as a person who, creative, working, also had to take care of the family and the kids and all that stuff. It would have been nice if she would have had somebody helping her and kind of showing her maybe how to do things a little differently.
I think so. What you're saying is a very interesting point, and we say this a lot. We as women, in fact, take the responsibility and take the load of the house, and we kind of take this on us, and many times maybe we need to share, or maybe we need to understand where to let go. So there's some aspects that only woman and woman can share between them, and this is the platform that we try to create at the British Chamber of Commerce, and we are excited to have a very diverse group of mentees and mentors, and to have excellent representations from our top member companies. So the fact is that also during this time, having a pair program means that we can continue with it full on, and we don't, the current situation of the COVID doesn't stop us, and we continue to work in small groups and in pairs and continue to empower one another, because in such crisis situation, leadership is the opportunity to really shine, and we want that to come from our women.
Now, okay, tell us about this program. You have mentors and mentees in pairs. Can you tell us some of the activities and what you do that's helped them to build careers and
Okay. So first, we have lots of joint activities, and most of the activities are within the pairs. So at first they meet and set their goals, find the gaps, and set their targets, and share what is holding them back. And then throughout meetings that they have together, whether it's lunch, dinner, coffee, or just doing something that they never dared to do before and do it together, it could be a sport event, nature outing, charity, or any cultural exchange. They have this opportunity to discuss, how to be better at what they do and how to overcome the challenges that they face. So we are very lucky that actually this program is continuing to go without any kind of disruption. So we also add other activities that involve women in tech, women in education, women in government, and we are combining the pair work along with the chamber general activities.
Very nice. So it sounds like this is a well-rounded program that you've been working on, have thought out a lot, and are continuing to improve. So, okay, the people, we're running out of time.
Okay.
Really quickly, the people who are involved in this program, are these people who are in the workforce and trying to struggle at home? I mean, where do these people come from?
Absolutely. This is a Women in Business program. Therefore, our mentors come from companies like Standard Chartered, Aberdeen Standard, JSK, KPMG, Audi, Volkswagen, IBM. We have, professional women that are involved with that. And another thing is that our mentees come from also similar companies, and also some of them are entrepreneurs and have their own business. Some of them want to develop in their own corporation. So it's quite diverse, and we're very fortunate to have our sponsors, Aberdeen Standard and Robert Walters and PC Life support, because without them we couldn't have been doing what we're doing now.
Now, just really quickly before we go, if people want more information, if we have women out there who are more interested,
contact the British Chamber of Commerce.
Okay, and that's the website, www.bcctaipei.com. That's their website. You can also find them on Facebook, Twitter. They're on YouTube. They've kind of got it.
We are easy to be connected with.
Yes, and look for the Women in Business group. On the British Chamber of Commerce in Taipei's website.
Feel free to reach out to us, and we want to help, and we want to be there for the women in business in Taiwan.
Very, very nice. Okay, Revital, we're just about out of time, but I guess I should say thank you to Steve, since I know he's on the other line.
Yes. I'll pass it on to Steve.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Stevie.
Thank you so much.
Hi, Stevie.
Hi.
I'm back.
You're back. I'm Stevie. Nice to meet
We're
you.
going to make sure we have equal air time between men and women here.
Well, we're out of time, though. Sorry.
That's okay.
I gave it all to her. It's women in business. We don't need to talk to you, Steve.
There you go. Thanks for your time. I've really appreciated the chance to come on here and talk about this important program.
It's a great program, and I was mentioning to Revital, I'm glad, we have programs like this. My mother could have used a lot of support, and I know women who are struggling now who could use support like this. So, great program, and so www.bcctaipei.com is the website. You can follow British Chamber of Commerce in Taipei on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. They got it all according to their website here. And Stephen, very nice to talk with you again, and I hope to be speaking with you again soon.
I look forward to it. Thanks for your time today, man.
All right, cheers. Have a great one.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.